Hello friends, this video on Control and Coordination Part 14 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let us go to the next class, that is the nematodes. So here they have a better developed nervous system. So here the nervous system is even more organized than the platyhelminths. So when I talk of nematodes, I remember the worms, right? The ascaris, the wuchereria, these were the worms which fall under the category of nematodes. So they have something called as nerve ring. So what is a nerve ring? We will just see the structure. So they have, like how we had nerve nets in case of coelenterates, these organisms have nerve ring which is made of 4 ganglia which serves as the brain present at the anterior end. So here also you see brain is present at one end. So that means cephalization is present. So if you look at the structure of a worm, here you have a dark ring-like structure. So this is nothing but the nerve ring, right? So this is the nerve ring and this is the mouth cavity or the buccal cavity. So this is the buccal cavity. Now this nerve ring is present just near the esophagus. So this is the esophagus or the food pipe. Okay. So from the nerve ring arises nerves which run the length of the body on dorsal, ventral and lateral surfaces. That means from this nerve ring arises nerves, dorsal nerves, ventral nerves and lateral nerves. So dorsal means back. So here if you look, this is the ventral surface. So the nerve running at this end is the ventral nerve. Nerve running at this end, that is the back end, that is the dorsal nerve. And the nerves which run along the lateral surfaces, that is the sideways surfaces, they are the lateral nerves. So we say that this is the ventral nerve cord. This is the dorsal nerve cord, right? So what is the function of the dorsal nerve cord? Dorsal nerve cord controls the motor activities. That means it acts as the muscle cells or the effector organs, right? Lateral nerve cord acts as the sensory control. It handles the sensory control and the ventral one controls both of them, right? So in these kind of, so here you see the structure has now gone little more complicated. So you have a nerve ring, you also have a brain. So brain is also towards this head region, so which is made up of 4 ganglia. So from the nerve ring you have dorsal nerve cords, ventral nerve cords as well as the lateral nerve cords, and they serve both sensory as well as motor functions. Other than these, they also have specialized receptors present. What are they? They have sensory bristles covering the body, provide sense of touch. That means throughout their body, they have small structures called bristles, small dot-like structures. So they act as tangoreceptors. 2 small amphids on head which act as chemoreceptors. So here on the head, they have 2 small amphid, 2 small structures. Some also have pigmented eye spots, so which act as photoreceptors. So here you yourself can see that there are so many things which are present here. They have chemoreceptors, they have tangoreceptors, they have photoreceptors, they also have so many nerve cords, they also have a simple brain, they have a nerve ring, so many things. Cephalization is definitely there. So now before cephalization was not there when we were talking about sponges or coelenterates. Now once it is in, so now in all the higher animals cephalization will be there, right? So this was about the nematodes. Let us now talk about the annelids. When I talk about annelids, it reminds you of the earthworm, right? So what kind of body do they have? They are also worm-like creatures. They have segmented body, right? This is how an earthworm looks like. Their body is divided into several segments. So they have segmented body. They have a well-developed nervous system in the segmented body. So let us see how does a segmented body makes a difference to the nervous system. So here each segment has a ganglia that controls muscles of that segment. So the body is divided into different areas. Now each of these areas will have a ganglia. What is ganglia? A simple brain. It is nothing but a bundle of nerves. So this ganglia will control the movement in that particular segment. So that is why you would have seen the way annelids move, the way an earthworm moves, it kind of drags its body. It looks like as if it is dragging its segments one by one. So this movement is possible because of the ganglia. So ganglia plays a very important role in the movement of the earthworm. Right? So they have nerve cord which extends through all segments. So nerve cord is something which is common as far as the animals which are conceived, which we have discussed so far. So if I try to represent the nervous system of these annelids, it would be somewhat like this. So if we want to represent the nervous system of an annelid in a simplified form, it would be somewhat like this. So these would represent the ganglia for the brain, and then it has two nerve cords which extends through all the segments. So this would be the nerve cords. These would be nothing but the brain, that is the ganglia or the bundle of nerves which act as brain. And now at every point we have, like at each segment we have a ganglia, right? So these will be the segmental ganglia. So at each segment we will have the ganglia, right, which will control that particular segment. So these would be the ganglia for that segment. So this is how the basic structure is. Now other than these nerve cords, they also have receptors, that is the specialized sensory organs. So they have touch, light, chemical receptors present all along the body surface. So throughout the body surface, they have tangoreceptors, photoreceptors and chemoreceptors, right? So this was about the nervous system of annelids. Let us go ahead and talk about arthropods. Right, you are. Arthropods, that is the organisms with jointed legs. So insects fall under this category. So what kind of a nervous system do they have? They also have a ladder-like nervous system. So by now you know what is ladder-like. I mean the nerve cords and the transverse nerves are connected in such a way that they give the appearance of a ladder. So this is how it looks. So if you look at it, they have paired ventral nerve cords running through all the segments. So even they are segmented and they have paired ventral nerve cords. So here you can see these are the nerve cords. So paired, so this is one and this is another one. So they are paired ventral nerve cord, right? So it runs through all the segments of the body. Paired ganglia is formed in each segment. So if you see at each segment they have the segmental ganglia. So these are these dots where they join. These dots represent the segmental ganglia, that is ganglia at each segment. Brains are formed by fusion of the ganglia of these segments. So where is the brain? So brain is here. So here forms the brain. So it is formed by fusion of ganglia. So here also you see the ladder-like structure. So the central structure, if you observe, it is like the ganglia acts as steps to the ladder, right? They also have specialized sensory organs or receptors present. They have pigmented ocelli or photoreceptors. Ocelli are nothing but eye spots like structures. They also have bristles on their cuticles which act as touch and chemical receptors. So bristles are nothing but again small dot-like structures on their bodies. They act as tango and chemoreceptors. So now as we are talking about so many different classes, so many varieties of animals, so are you getting an idea how the nervous system actually evolved? Earlier there was no nervous system. Gradually a simple nervous system came. So only the simple nerve nets. Then gradually came cephalization. Then came ganglia, that is bundle of nerves which joined together to form a brain-like structure. Then came the nerve cords and different combination and of the nerve cords and the nerves. Right? So gradually the system is getting more complex as well as more advanced at the same time. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.